Hey there, StarCraft fans, Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 and Brood War together. We call this StarCraft Evolution. Going to be ByuN versus Rumeith here today. Rumeith is a Korean Zerg player. He is very familiar with Brood War Zerg. Bottom right, it's Rumeith playing the Brood War Zerg here on Keres Passage. In the top left, it is ByuN, very familiar with StarCraft 2 Terran as well, which he's playing here today. So, should be a good match here. Rumeith did win some StarCraft Evolution League tournaments recently. So if you're interested in StarCraft Evolution, just kind of search it up on YouTube. There are other people doing this as well. Hyper1 organizes it. You might recognize that name from my channel. He has clearly abandoned StarCraft 2, and he's all in on StarCraft Evolution, which is okay because I love it as well. Hatch first here at 16 supply is Rumeith. We still have a 12-worker start here for both players. 8 workers in StarCraft 2 right now, but in StarCraft Evolution, it is still 12. So let's see who's going to come out on top here today in a very, very macro game for your Wednesday. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hope you guys are ready for it. I am. I'm ready for this cast. It's going to be a good one. Most Evolution matches are sub 10 minutes, but this one, yo, it lives up to the billing, lives up to the hype. So, still no pool here. Oh, never mind. Pool's coming down here. It's like, okay, it was a little bit off screen. Weird place for the pool. But I guess blocking off Reapers from getting behind your mineral line is the goal there for that spawning pool for Rumeith. We've got gas. We've got a Reaper on the way. We've got an expansion. And ByuN says, yeah, 1 Rax expansion timing here all day, every day. SCV scouting across the map. Terra the Overlord scouting across 2. Brr, better. That's right. Brr. Indeed. Got Zelnaga watchtowers. We've got injured debris here with 1,000 HP. I don't know why they didn't just make them have 1,000 HP instead of 2,000 and then ticking away half to get 1,000. I do not know. We've got a hatchery here. So we've got macro hatch. There are no queens in Brood War. Well, there are queens, but they don't inject. They just fly around and cast spells, which is one reason why the StarCraft 2 Queen is so weird. Such a weird choice for Zerg. So, macro hatch. For additional larva, we've got a 3rd base coming up. The Overlord is here saying, you are expanding. Yes, you are. Very good. I see it. I see the expansion, and I'm going to do a 3rd base to keep up with your macro here, ByuN. What are we doing with the gas? Metabolic boost. The Reaper shows up. Can we pin it? No, hopping up, as is the case here for Reapers ever since 2010. And forcing drones into extractors, into evolution chambers, into maybe a creep colony. Yes, into a creep colony. Speed is not even close to done yet, but we're going to chase away the Reaper. And nevertheless, how many kills? 0 kills on that Reaper. Excellent defense here from Rumeith. APM check. Both players around 330, 340 APM on average. We've got a lair on the way. Mutalisks are so good in Brood War. Let's see how ByuN is going to handle this, right? Lair into Mutas is my guess for the opening here. Again, Muta's so good in TVZ in the Brood War. But we have Widow Mines in StarCraft 2. We have Thors. We have missile turrets that do much more damage to Mutas than the missile turrets in Brood War. So maybe it's a bit of a different plan here from Rumeith. So yeah, hope you're enjoying this, man. This is a crazy, crazy game that I got off of the StarCraft Evolution League Discord server. It's a good one. Ooh, another macro hatch coming in here. And for more information about it, I will link to the StarCraft Evolution League Wikipedia page. Well, Liquipedia page, I guess, in particular, for more data that way. Starport coming in, factory there. We got double racks. We got a lot of Marines happening, absolutely. ByuN is kind of the master of TVZ. We'll see how he does here against somebody who's getting a Spire. There it is. Okay, so Spire coming in about 4 minutes. Worker count is excellent. 32 for ByuN, 43 for Rumeith. Getting that gas, loving it. Extractor all Brood War styled up here. Very, very nicely done, whoever came up with that one. Getting a creep colony for defense against attacks to the 3rd base. Sunkens are really good. They're better than Spines, man. I still think the attack sound on Zerglings is set too high. But hey, it's authentic, and that's what matters. 4th base coming in here, too, from Rumeith. He is really macroing hard. ByuN walling off against potential Ling attacks. No Banelings for Brood War. So, it just has to be Lings, and Lings against a hard wall like this with Marines behind it are not getting in. This is where Brood War Zergs wish they had Banelings, because you could bust a wall like this pretty darn easily and then get in and swarm in and win. But we're going to pick up and move out. We got the stim. Excellent. Oh, good scout there by the Ling, seeing the drop coming. This really shouldn't get too much done for ByuN. If it gets scouted this early, then the reaction is very possible here. Got the Lings making, yep, creep colony there, sunken there. And here comes the unload. Scourge on the way. Wow, 8 Scourge in production instead of mutas. Is he just going to try to take down the medevacs? And then the Marines without the medevacs are about 40% worse. Yeah, stimming in, and the Lings are like, hey, you leave our sunken alone. And pick up and get out. There it is. And then you pick up, and then the Scourge say, oh, you picked up. How quick. And then you unload and target the Scourge. Oh, medevac does go down. The other medevac dies. What a hold. Oh my gosh, that was so many dead Marines. That is 16 dead Marines and 2 medevacs down because Scourge exists. Okay, that's one thing. You don't have Banelings, but you do have Scourge. They can only connect with air things. They do like 110 damage per Scourge. You get 2 of them for 1 larva, so you can make a lot of Scourge, but they're 75 gas in Brood War. I'm not sure how much they are in the evolution, but I imagine they are similarly very gas expensive because they're that good. Dude, that was hot stuff. Usually we see them going after science vessels against a Terran from the from the Brood War. But, you know, medevacs are pretty good targets as well. I don't see why that's a problem. Ravens maybe a good target for them as well here. So, Keres Passage. Yeah, we've got cooling towers you can knock down. We've got Zelnaga watchtowers you can take. We've got this crazy laser thing happening. We've got jets propelling us through the darkness. We are on a moving space platform, very literally on this map. Sometimes that is inferred in map design, but in this situation, it is definitely literal. Yep, Zelnaga watchtowers being held, both sides here. Loving that by Rumeith. And I'm not sure what Lings are supposed to do. Ling Scourge, the opening here. Thinking about it. Siege tanks back there. Really good position to not be surrounded by any of those Zerglings. And coming back home, taking a weird path to do it, but I mean, that's the closest path you can take. So it's not mutas, intriguingly. It's going to be more macro hatches. Production tab says we're working on lurker aspect. That's an upgrade at the Hydra Den in Brood War. That is not its own building. Yeah, getting upgrades for Hydras and lurkers. So that could be what it is. We got gold on the map here. You have to go ahead and mine this out before you can make a hatch here. But I mean, it's not an island base or anything, so I'm not sure what the point of having this is. You just send a drone over mine and then use it to build a hatch, or SCV mine and build a command center. I don't see why that's there. Usually that's there for island bases, so Terran can't just lift a command center onto an island base and expand easy, and the other 2 races can't. But in this situation, I guess maybe that's more minerals than 1 drone can mine, right? So it is going to delay. It's going to delay your ability to take that gold. Fair enough. I'm okay with that. Knocking down debris, more wide open spaces for Zerg is always considered a very positive thing. And everything's looking okay here for Rumeith. He's holding against ByuN. He's macroing extremely well. His APM is an average of 360 to 373 for ByuN. More tanks possibly being added on here from ByuN. If it's Hydras, tanks are going to be nice, right? Hydras with the combined forces of Dark Swarm, which we don't have yet because the Queen's Nest isn't done. You need a hive for that. Then you need a defiler mound for that. It's going to be a minute before that's out. This Marine says, I was going to take the Zelnaga watchtower. Is he going to knock down some of this debris? He took some damage to it, but didn't really do anything else. A lot of Marines, man. Marines, medevacs. Siege tanks, yes, building another command center here. It's a big map. It can be expanded to quite a bit. What is this drone trying to do? What you doing, buddy? What you doing way out here? He's not going to try to expand over here, is he? Are you building like a proxy hat? What? Feels like a bad rally. Was he trying to go over here and ended up here somehow? He's hiding here. Using a drone to scout for an expansion is weird, dude. You have 8,000 Lings. Ah, here we go. We're working away on some of this debris. Hey, this one was actually at full HP. Yeah, some of these are at full HP. Some of these are injured. Yeah, Hydra DPS is really strong there. Squishy as a result. Same thing in the StarCraft 2. You guys know how this works. Ghost Academy from ByuN. Big fan of those ghosts from the StarCraft 2. They were changed from 3 to 2 total supply per ghost in the most recent patch of StarCraft 2. They are pretty good, I would argue. Not too shabby at all. So it's going to be Ling Scourge Hydra here. Any indication? I don't know what that upgrade is. Yeah, nope. Too many tanks. Too many tanks for that to happen. Thank you very much. There are 5 siege tanks in the vicinity. That splash damage is the worst thing for Hydra Ling. What are you doing, man? Why are you charging in here like this? Yeah, wait until you have Dark Swarm. You can negate at least some of the damage from the tanks, negate all of the damage from the Marines. So he's got the Hive. That upgrade has to be for Overlord Speed. The only upgrades at the Hive are going to be Burrow, Overlord Speed, Overlord Vision, and Overlord Drops. There's Consume on the way at the Defiler Mounds, so that's going to allow you to use the Defilers to consume things like Lings and get energy immediately. It is considered one of the broken things about Brood War, is the ability to consume and basically non-stop cast whatever you want with the Defiler, whether it's Plague, whether it is Dark Swarm. Really, really strong stuff. Again, they don't get a third spell because that's Consume. Imagine if they had Consume and another spell. It'd be crazy, man. So just opening up different paths. That's what we're working on with here today. Upgrades for these Hydras are 2-2. We've got 2 attack for the Marines, 1 attack. Ooh, 2-2 armor. There we go. And plus 1 attack for the tanks. This group of Hydras, once again, just kind of focusing... Taking out a command center that was under construction, losing a couple Hydras in the process, coming in this way, a couple tanks, not enough tanks to handle these many Hydras. The Marines are, again, kind of a bigger deal here. They stim, they burn through Hydra DPS so gosh darn fast. Unless Dark Swarm is there. Sniping Hydras isn't a great use of snipe, but you know what, it's better than anything else. Maybe Lurker would be a better target for the snipe here, which it generally is in StarCraft 2 as well. Gold base taken by Rumeith. Lot of hatches, because again, you need the larva. That's what the macro hatches are for. ByuN just casually expanding wherever he wants. Getting another command center here and upgrading it to a planetary. He's just hasn't really moved out today. These Hydras can't stand. Like, that's the trick here. Hydras against small numbers of tanks, yes. Hydras against this number of Marines with 2-2 and stim and medevac support, no. I'm not sure the Scourge have really gotten any connections off. I love it's 1 Lurker and then just like 1,000 Hydras for some reason. He's again coming in here. He's like, can we kill Ghosts? Can we kill Command Centers? Yes, that's all I need to do. Let's back it out. 3 SCVs have died. More Sunkens in production. They're just good against attacks from Marines. Not as good against tanks, but we're aware. Now the question is, do we have Defilers? And are they in these Overlords? Perhaps. They are. So we've got Defilers inside the Overlords. The Consume is done. The Dark Swarm is going to start showing up here. And the more tanks you have, the better it is. Just because the splash damage is not negated by the Dark Swarm. So StarCraft 2 Zerg, right? Haven't seen a lot of this on the channel. And don't lose the Overlords containing the Defilers. Hope you EMP on the Defiler. Plague and Dark Swarm. Dude, Plague on these guys is going to bring them down to very low HP. Medevacs have to heal them up. There's the Dark Swarm. Planetary getting splash damage off. Yes, but a lot of this direct damage, all the direct damage is getting negated. You can still snipe inside the Dark Swarm. The repair is good. He needs to target some of the SCVs if he's going to do this. Dark Swarm wears off. No Defiler remaining. The splash damage has been doing major damage. 12 SCVs died. Planetary survives with 14 kills. And the attack is negated here. Bringing some cracklings along to that attack would have really helped. Again, Dark Swarm on top of the Planetary. It can't attack the Lings, but the Lings can attack it with their direct non-splash or non-ranged damage. Whew. More Defilers coming in. Once again, splash damage is still a thing on the Planetary, but so much of the direct damage is what's important there, and it's gone. It is negated. Once again, just mass working on 3-3. Snipe. The only real targets we've got for Snipe are Hydras anyway, so why not? And yeah, this is a meta in Brood War, is this mass Hydra stuff, but with Dark Swarm. And the answer to it is tanks. So we're kind of seeing a Brood War game played out here in the StarCraft 2 engine. Hydra Lurker over this way. Where are the Defilers? I know he's been building more Defilers. He's got them. He's got 1. It's all the way back here, though. So he's like, Arcstorm didn't help me as much back there as I wanted it to. And Plague will do like 200 damage to anything, but once it gets down to 1 HP, it stops doing damage. So it doesn't kill anything directly, but it will bring it down to a very, very vulnerable state that is easily killed by things like, you know, Hydras and Lurkers, for example. No. And then attacking over this way. Okay, this planetary looks like it might actually die. Yeah, that bursty damage gets the planetary Rumeith. BYuN's just going mass command center here, as he will do in TVZ, especially late game. Oh, didn't finish off. There you go. There's the repair. Again, not enough Hydras, and so many Hydras' bodies being left behind. Rumeith expanding there. Might as well expand up this way and this way, too. He's keeping the pressure on ByuN. ByuN has not really mounted any kind of an attack, but ByuN is one of the only Terran players in the world, if not the one Terran player on Earth that I trust to do this. Where you just kind of sit back. I guess Morrow does it as well. He's trying to make Lurkers there, I guess, and everything died. So that was the refunds. But, yeah, just to sit back and defend. Play defense. Planetary Fortress, tank everything. He EMPs the Defiler. Oh, it's so good. Take down the command center. No, too many tanks. Too many Marines and Ghosts coming in here. ByuN is defending. Double the resources lost here. ByuN 15,000. Zerg player Rumeith 31,000. Up the right side, expanding to another gold base. I mean, shoot, man. 2 gold bases for this guy. Income is through the roof. He's got a big bank. ByuN has a big bank. They're both just pretty happy to take gold bases. Hoover up the map as much as you can for all the minerals and all of the everything that exists. Especially, you know, the Vespine gas. I don't think we have any purple geysers on this map, which one of my favorite things visually. Not happening. Yeah, 4 CCs at a time. More EMPs getting tossed down before the Defilers can do anything. That's part of the problem here, is that it gets a plague off. Some of the units are plagued. And attacking up this way, getting shoved away again. Just not enough Hydras to really get much done on that side of the map. He's got 3-3 Hydras, 3-3 Lurkers. The Ghosts sniping the Lurkers means they're not as good. The Ghosts EMPing the Defilers mean they're not as good either. Ghosts are kind of the answer to everything that's going on for Zerg in general. They're just a really good unit. Can be frustrating to play against from the Zerg perspective. Pretty good against Protoss too with that EMP, sniping High Templar. It's all very strong that way. So ByuN once again just tap-installing a watchtower, going back home. Leaving a tank here. That's not a push. He's just happy to kind of let Rumeith take a bunch of the map and then defend. And then whenever Rumeith wants to attack, he'll make good trades. Yeah, simultaneously trying to get up this ramp and push over this direction. Nope, fall back, and also nope, fall back. ByuN is playing defensive lock-it-down Terran as well as anybody is right now. Here at 18 minutes. And we're kind of running out of places to expand for Rumeith. He's got maybe this? If ByuN lets him have it. I mean, ByuN's kind of letting him have this, but I'm not sure. Defiler. Again, you have consume. You can consume a Hydra to get that energy back after an EMP, but another EMP will probably come in after that. Man, a plague right here would be glorious. Also, the cloak's a problem for these Hydras. I don't think you can see the ghosts that are cloaked, but they're not doing enough damage to really dissuade them. Anyway, this command center is like, wait a second, I was told I could land over here. What is this shenaniganery? That's a great question. What is this shenaniganery? I think that's Defiler. Medicine-aptic Node. Is that upgrade at the Defiler mound? It is. No, Queen's Nest. What? Gamete Meiosis. We're getting Queens for what? We're going to spawn brooding these tanks? We're going to ensnare the ghosts, maybe? Oh, man. Are ghosts interruptible? What are we changing for StarCraft 2? Like, are they planning on updating StarCraft 2 to more match the StarCraft 2? Or as we come in here again, the tank fire. You can just see it. You can just see the tank fire, man. This hatch is going to die, but I don't think Rumeith really expected to be able to have it for any length of time. Anyway, he's got top right. Yeah, he needs more plague. He needs some queen spawn brooding shenanigans. Right? It's 150 energy for a queen to spawn broodling. They don't have the consumability that defilers do, so it takes a while to wait for a queen to get 150 energy to take down a single siege tank and then go back home, wait for another 2 minutes, and then maybe to take down another siege tank. Which is very expensive spell casts to deal with one siege tank. Yeah, I mean, ghosts, their spells are cheaper, right? Their energy regens a little bit faster. There's more of them. Ghosts are just more consistently effective. Is he gonna... What's he do? A parasite, maybe? I think he parasited a medevac. Does it notify when you click on it if it's been parasited? I don't know. I don't see it there. Maybe it tells ByuN, but it's not telling me. Ensnare is on the way. So we got the Broodling upgrade. Now he has to research Ensnare on the Queen. Again, it's an energy upgrade, and then it's 2 more spells. Parasite, which turns a unit into a spy for the Zerg. Actually, I can see this. Yeah, so one of these is parasited. Snipe, 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 snipe. It's so annoying to play against Snipe, man. And the EMP. Ghosts are just the best late game unit in all of StarCraft right now. I just really feel like they are. Their range, their snipe capabilities, they're fast, they're small, they're hard to target. They can fall back, they can kite. Siege tanks, really unsung heroes today. I mean, pretty sung heroes if you ask me. And an EMP catching those defilers as soon as they unload. It's a... Okay, he does get a nice plague off. See, watch that HP drip, 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 drip down to 1 HP. Or, you know, maybe 3 hit points, whatever. Negligible hit points. And if you try to heal through it, it will actually drain all the energy off your medevac. Hey, command center down. Another Dark Swarm does manage to come up here. Oh, Defiler's getting concussive shelled and sniped out is such a good thing for ByuN here. Rumeith has more money. He's got double the minerals and double the gas in the bank, but the cost efficiency continues to be awesome. It is another 2-to-1, right? 24,000 resources lost for ByuN, 49,000 for Rumeith. It does get an ensnare off, which does slow the attack speed and the movement speed of anything caught in it. Which means you can't run away as well, but when you got tanks in the general vicinity anyway, Defiler could consume a thing and throw down a Dark Swarm here. It would be nice. Wow, Hydra's just face smashing in. Once again, the ghosts getting plagued earlier. The ones that were playing look like they're dead. 10 SCVs down. This base is being fought over a lot. This base is basically, yeah, that's a foregone conclusion. This belongs to the Terran. Look at these orbitals. This is late game. 13 orbitals, man, and 3 planetaries on the map. Extra orbitals everywhere, calling down mules. Your SCV count can be lower because you have that many orbitals and that many mules getting called down. So look, it's 83 drones, but only 55 SCVs. Income is favoring the Zerg. That's because he has a gajillion more bases. Backing up again. Ugh. He's just taking as many minerals as he can. Long distance mining drones. Trying to take money from here away from ByuN as much as he can get. More tanks on the way. Liberators. Ghosts on a bit of a move out. This away. Sniping an Overlord. Sniping a Ling at a Zelnaga Watchtower. Sniping a Ling kind of seems like a bad use of energy. Another... Okay, another Orbital's going to die, but look at these lines of death. Snipe, 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 snipe. Run away, run away. The Defilers are just having such a hard time getting Plague down or getting Dark Swarm down, because whenever they unload, they get EMP'd. Kind of makes you wish Terrans and Brood War were this good at EMPing, because it is on the Science Vessel. You have EMP. And it's Splash, just like EMP in StarCraft 2. It's again engaging into a position. Gets a Plague off on a group. Tank gets Plague, but it's going to die anyway, targeting the tank in particular. Okay, Rumeith, I like what we're seeing here. And once again, another base dies. The battle for this 1 o'clocker is legendary right now. Nobody's got a hold of it. The minerals are here. They are gold. They're very tempting that way, and that's also always the last place to expand, and Rumeith is going to try to take it. He's just so in love with these Hydralisks. They are good. They are a little tankier than StarCraft 2 Hydras. Can he save the hatch? Double ensnare getting tossed down on these dudes. Once again, attack speed is lowered and movement speed there, but they can still do their full damage. Can they get a cancel on that hatch is the question. Defiler needs to get a plague off. There you go. Consumes. Gets inside an Overlord, so they can't get EMP'd inside the Overlord. But once you unload, ByuN's been so on top of those EMPs. Just like how Protoss puts their High Templar in War Prisms, so they can't get EMP'd while they're in there. But once they're unloaded, they are fair game to that spell. Trying to hold this base. If you can hold this base, I like his chances. Tank dead. And then it's an unload plague. Unload plague. Look at these plagues. Wow. Great plagues. And the Hydras are a lot emboldened here by the presence of the plague units, but the Hydra tanks are just not working out for the Hydralisks. The tanks are murdering so many of them today. 582 Hydras have died. 582. Resources lost. 71 to 39. It's not quite double. He's actually done a little bit better with the cost efficiency on the Zerg units. Thus far, he has this base. That's humongous. Once again, it's just kind of mass ghosts wandering in, but sunken damage against ghosts is big. Sunken damage in general is big and beefy. Takes out a base that was mined out. Takes some tank shots in the process. Holds on to this. Oversaturating it just to make sure. Just to make sure that he gets as much money off of it as possible. Can he hold ByuN off of it long enough? Because once he takes all of this, and once this mines out, that's pretty much it. I guess he took some of the drones from this space. So maybe he's got a little bit of time. We can fall back to that a little bit, I guess. No. Nice. Ensnare again. Dude, fungal them and ensnare them. EMPs all over the place. Tanks are sieging up. And no, don't leave the hatch. You must save the hatch. No, hatch goes down. Rumeith was probably expecting that to happen. Where are the cracklings is my question. He doesn't have enough minerals to make a bunch of cracklings, but dude, seriously. Ensnare. Okay, there you go. Plague plus Crackling is insanely good. There's a God of Dark Swarm down. Everybody plagued is gonna die unless they pull back behind the tank line, which they're trying to do. Tank's getting sniped back inside the Dark Swarm a little bit. You can fit more Hydras inside a Dark Swarm in Brood War than you can in StarCraft 2. They're a little bit bigger model size in the Brood War. I wonder if that's something they've talked about. Oh gosh, another unload, another immediate plague. But the plague units, they still do the full damage. I really would like to recommend Queens. Recommend Cracklings. But they're okay. It's just making Hydras, man. And the tank count is just enough that the Hydras really can't stand and fight for any length of time. Rumeith needs to expand up here, doesn't have the money for it. ByuN is at 1,000 minerals. 164 to apply to 116. More lurkers coming in, and we are making some sets of wings. They do have +2 attack and +3 armor. Trying to figure out what the adrenal upgrade is here. I hope he has it. But yeah, the lurkers just really have a hard time when there are that many tanks running around. It's understandable. But if you can snipe the tanks, then the lurkers are going to be amazing against the Marines, because lurkers in Brood War are more against infantry than they are against armored units, which they are in StarCraft 2. So ByuN takes this base. Massive, massive win from him. I thought for a minute there he wouldn't be able to take it, but his macro has been insane. He's really done a good job at falling back when necessary, getting good trades over and over and over again. It's 90,000 to 47,000. Tries to get in here and get something off, but Defiler has no energy again. So yeah, we're mining up here. We're mining down here, but for how much longer? Not much longer. Resources under 1,000 for all of these patches. And then just kind of, small groups come in. A plague does catch about half of those guys. And yeah, the medevacs will drain energy trying to heal through plague when it's on. Because if you heal through plague, bringing it up from 1 HP, it'll go back down to 1 HP really fast. So your medevac energy is kind of wasted trying to heal those guys up. Yeah, this base is going to die. I love this position from ByuN. Just sending a small group up that way and then covering it with tanks. Yep, hatched down. Very, very starved Rumeith right now and down 90 supply. So I think ByuN has just made a game-winning move. Taking this base, shutting this base down. Maybe taking it for his own here, too. He's building a command center in the general vicinity, so that makes a lot of sense. I like the spores. I'm not sure they've done anything here today other than dissuade attacks. That's all they've done, and that's good enough, I would say. But yeah, 193 to 107 supply. This is Rumeith, just kind of on his back foot right now. Starved out of his mind. These mineral patches are dying any second. 200 on some of these is just not enough to really hold gold base fresh and juicy, and returns are bigger than ever. ByuN working on a make of 200 and 1,000 gas. Making more Vikings, making more command centers. Yeah, there you go. Consuming lings for that energy, for the Dark Swarm, for the Plague, which is really good. Keep pointing this out, but the more tanks there are, the less good the Dark Swarm is. Really haven't seen any ling attempts here at all. I imagine Rumeith has experimented with that. I imagine he's played a bunch where he has made a ton of lings and Dark Swarm and Plague against a StarCraft 2 Terran, and it just hasn't gone well for him. Parasite's a queen. Or a ghost. Oh, look at that. You can see a little thing on his head. So he's going to put it inside a medevac. Does that get rid of the... It does. Putting it inside a medevac gets rid of the parasite. Cool. Yep, top right base here. Not a lot of minerals here either, dude. But, you know, these are minerals that Rumeith would desperately appreciate, and he cannot get them. It's just not worth attacking anything over here because there's no income there. It's all about this position, which ByuN's here defending like an absolute boss man. He's going to be very cautious. Maybe siege some tanks on the high ground, come down, try to snipe down this base just for the sport of it. Apparently, he's just going to leave this base to mine out and call it a day, which he probably should do based on this base and this base, which we're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, sniping the queen as she tries to flee? That's a war crime. Actually, it's fine. There are no Geneva Accords here in the Kaprulu sector. Spawn Brewling's a tank. There you go. More of that action. More of it, I say. 1 kill on that queen. 0 kills on that queen. 0 kills on that queen. 1 kill on that queen. There. Oh, look at that. Broodling's chomping away at a ghost. Nom, nom, nom. Oh, Spawn Broodling's the ghost. Siege tank obliterates the Broodling. Oh, calling down mules from this base just for bad matter. Just to mine more money off of these. Oh, that's amazing. Trying to get incredible value with these queens by doing Spawn Broodling on things like ghosts and tanks. Oh, man, he whiffed with whatever. I think that was a Spawn Broodling attempt, but the thing cloaked, so maybe it doesn't... Whoa! Actually, I'm not sure what happens there. If you throw a Spawn Broodling at a target, but then they cloak before it lands, nice EMP, there's a Parasite, Ghost or Queen dies. That's just not how you're supposed to use queens, man. They just can't be used for one spell and then they die. They're way too expensive for that. Every spellcaster too expensive for that. Right? If High Templars show up and get one storm off and die, too expensive for that. Not worth it. Queens need to get a Spawn Broodling off and then survive, but it's not happening very well. 14 queens have died. 14! There are 23 queens on the map. 23 of them. Look at them. Some of them have energy for a lot of stuff. 226 on that one. Hot dang. What is he doing over this way? He's trying to come from an unexpected angle. And there's turrets. He gets a tank, but he dies for it. What he needs, I think, are some Guardians to whittle down these turrets and then allow the Queens more access. Tank down. Tank down. And these 2 Queens survive. Okay, this is good. This is good trades. This is the kind of trades that can work out. Taking out tanks, making the Hydras more effective all the time. The problem is, ByuN has enough money to rebuild tanks. He's really not concerned about this. If he was starving out, then sure, this would be more effective. But what is the tank count currently? 13. He has lost a lot of them, 50. But resources lost, 50 to 96,000. And that's it. We're starved out, 75 minerals, no active income at all. Income tab was fairly Rumeith, but about 5 minutes ago, it's been very ByuN and will continue to be ByuN for the rest of all time. Well, until these bases mine out anyway. So yeah, good effort by Rumeith. I mean, if you can take ByuN to 35 minutes, you're playing a pretty good game. I don't think you're going to win this thing, though. Okay, spawn broodlings. This is late game Zerg strategy in Brood War, is just trying to get incredible value, which is possible when your enemy is also starving out. But when ByuN has 8,000 minerals and 3,500 gas, you just can't kill his stuff fast enough that he can't replace it. And eventually he's going to get tired of you and come in and kill all your stuff. Rumeith takes out a Viking, loses 2 Hydras in the process. A little bit of tank splash there too. Ensnare and run, which is fine. Ensnare doesn't do any damage. This is something that is acceptable to ByuN. Catching an ensnare is fine. In fact, he's going to attack with the ensnared units as more Queens die, just to show that he doesn't care if he's ensnared. Ooh, the Plague and the ensnare. Actually, the ensnare wore off. Once again, Plague does not stop you from doing your full damage with your attack. It just takes your HP down to nil, and then you're the saddest of pandas. Look at this. Drones fighting against Plague dudes. He burrows in. He's dancing his drones. He's like, this game is over. It's completely over. He knows. The drones are providing no value for him. He's got a big army of Hydro Defiler here. Bunch of Queens, too. Still has 19 Queens, but they keep getting sniped. Dude, it's 1 snipe to kill a full HP Queen. That's crazy talk. That is so impressive. And yeah, this is just moving in, spot broodling, yeah. Queen's dying for it, or getting out of there with not enough energy for a new one in a while. So hats off to ByuN, played a good game. He had a strategy he wanted to follow. He never really pushed on the Zerg, just kind of happily, nice Plague. Happily sat on his side of the map, took as many bases as he could, stole this one, took the gold. Now we're ready to go. Another tank dies. This is a lot of Plague units. Another ensnare, but Queen, snipe. Just gotta be really careful when your Plague is caught the Plague and your tank is caught the Plague too. Sniping defilers, sniping individual high. Look at that, 3 snipes. God, so good. 3 snipes. Tank dies, but guess what? Queen dies too. 10 Queens left. Were there 23 Queens like 3 minutes ago? What is happening here? Doesn't matter. It's been over for a minute, so click that like button. Subscribe if you like StarCraft Evolution. I got a bunch of that on the channel and gonna do more of it. Good. Dark Swarm. Ghosts kind of look, ow! They kind of look cool when they're ensnared. They have this aura around them. Yeah, but at this point, I think Rumeith just needs to do what the man has to do, which is tap out. Bam. And bam. The tanks are dying, but how many tanks remain, you ask? Well, 8. It's still enough to be very problematic for these Hydralisks. It's just you can't let ByuN decide, another Defiler dies, where the engagement is going to be, sir. But that's exactly what ByuN is doing with methodical placement, splitting his units so plagues aren't as good, using ghosts for incredible cost efficiency. Yeah, 9-kill ghost. We've got a basic attack too, so that helps, but you're just not going to see a 9-kill queen because their spells are too expensive. And their range is not as good as the ghost is. So, yeah. Yeah, I think at this point, Rumeith is recognizing his position, where he's at right now. It is kind of a surprising number of Hydralisks. Is this the last hurrah? Is he going to try to engage from a low ground position? EMP does catch the Defilers. There's a plague up there, though. Rumeith, no, the tanks siege up. The Hydras have to fall back. Dark Swarm. Okay, but he's leaving the Dark Swarm, man. It's extremely stationary. It doesn't move like Microbial Shroud can. It's better, but it doesn't move. Rumeith. 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 There's a lot of ghosts dead today. Let's be real. 56 have died. That's a 2-kill queen. I mean, we take 2 around here. 2's fine. 3 have become a rock star, though. Yeah. Oh, we got a tank, but he didn't. Actually, that was a ghost. GG, ByuN! Yeah, he probably won this thing as soon as he took this base away from Rumeith. It was just a slow death. From there, income looks like this. Yeah, exactamundo resources lost, 108,000 to 59,000. So Rumeith, the cost efficiency with the queens at the end helped him get that number up a little bit, but it is still effectively a 2-2-1 kill resources lost ratio. And that's not going to get it done against somebody as good as ByuN is when you're a Zerg player. So, yeah, the Hydra play, I'm really curious about the Lings. There's got to be some experience he's had with Lings where it just doesn't work out. Oh, man. Good stuff. I mean, that's a really, really great game from ByuN. Really, probably no surprise that he won, right? But at the end of the day, 765 Hydras died. That's like more. That is more Hydras dead in a game than I've seen in a very, very long time. 33 queens dead as well. And at the end of all time here, just too many ghosts. The ghosts were absolutely MVPs of this match. Still 23 at the end of the game. The tanks getting shots off. If they're not getting spawn brutaling, they are getting shots off on Hydras and helping kill that 765 number. Hatcheries dead here too. 6 hatcheries went down. We did kill 2 planetaries and 3 orbitals and 7 command centers. That's a lot of base kills. Usually feel pretty good about that from the Zerg perspective, but too much money at the end of the game. And that's it. So good game. ByuN, really fun one though. Great stuff. All right, well, that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Evolution. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.